For centuries the concept of infinity was covered by a dense coat of confusion. Aristotle believed that actual infinity cannot exist. Giordano Bruno said that the universe was infinite. Modern physics avoids infinity because it makes its calculations and formulas unsteady. But, should this concept be so mysterious and intricate to understand? After having passed centuries to figure it out, it can be time for having a better idea about this. In this video, we will try to explain infinity differently. The first point is to know if infinity is material or if the matter is infinite. What is the difference? One of the reasons for which we did not apprehend infinity as is, was that we thought that it cannot have any material reality, like other things that we can touch, see, and measure or modify. If it is the case, we concluded, it means that infinity doesn't exist in the actual world as Aristotle and many others believed. This misconception alienated us from what infinity was. Infinity was not a part of the material reality we were looking for, it was actually the entire reality. So, why we haven't seen it so far in this way? There is a reason for that. Infinity was not and is not something that we can comprehend through a finite-oriented mindset. Let's remind that our minds have been historically conditioned to see everything as a finite entity. Like a table, stone, plant, star, galaxy, and so on. How such a conditioned mindset could conceive something that is far beyond any finite manifestation and is infinite? It cannot, and if it cannot, it denies its existence. So, for our unconscious-shaped mindset, infinity cannot exist because it is not like any other finite, and to us, only finite things could exist. This is where we have to avoid the trap in order to see how we can drive our minds to freely conceive infinity. But let's make sure. This doesn't happen through meditations or introspection, and similar mental techniques. No, at all. The appropriate conception of infinity will be acquired by understanding it through a rational mind based and grounded on facts and evidence. The infinitism theory tries to redefine infinity in this objective way. Here is the argument of this theory about infinity. This is not through infinity that we discover the matter, this is through matter that we discover infinity. Up to now, we wanted to create or invent a concept that can represent the infinite, but we don't need it. What we have to do is just to discover and to notice infinity through studying the fabric of reality, observing the structure of matter, and detecting the configuration of the universe. When we go there we see that the fabric of everything is endlessly composite. Every layer of the reality structure is made of sublayers. Every particle of matter is made of subparticle. Every component of a phenomenon is made of subcomponents, and we can see that there is no finale to this course. Here is then the meaning of infinity. Infinity is nothing but the endlessness of the fabric of reality. In other terms, infinity is the countless particles and subparticle of matter. We are talking about infinity in terms of infinitude of components and subcomponents in all phenomena. Once we discover what infinity is, we can start to see how it runs within the matter, and then, we discover its detailed rules and many technical features. This will bring us to another assertion of the infinitism theory. Everything is infinite. As there is no exception in the material world for this general rule, we can see that every single reality is made of infinite components, without omission. This is a confirmation that nothing cannot to be infinite. And then, we can see that if being infinite is a prerequisite condition for anything, it's perhaps the existence itself that cannot be deprived of infinitude. Therefore, we complete our previous assertion by saying, everything is infinite or is not. This means that the mere existence of everything is depending on being infinite. Or we can formulate by saying that, nothing can exist without being infinite. In this way, we discover a second important point. What causes existence is infinity. This means that it is only because a thing is infinite that it exists. So, we can see that to apprehend infinity, we don't need to manufacture a concept based on our subjectivity, but we can catch it by observing and drawing the obvious inferences from what we see and what can be confirmed objectively in the real world. The theory of infinitism then suggests a new definition of infinity from this objective process of observation. Infinity means the infinitude of reality to exist. Yes, the capacity of reality to exist is infinite, that's why it exists, that is why it continues to be. That's why we say that the matter cannot be destroyed but just changed. The infinitude is running continuously in all matters without a starting point or an ending one. There are just the infinite changes that come along with the matter to ensure its existence. Infinity is the infinite becoming that causes the existing being. We can then see that matter is actually the infinite potential of reality. This is this infinite potential of reality that makes matter exist. In other words, this limitless reality that exists is matter. Or in brief, this is because the reality is limitless that matter can exist. In this way, we can see that there is no separation between reality, matter, existence, and infinity. We are talking about the same thing in different terms because each time we focus on one aspect of this whole thing. Reality is the matter that exists. The matter exists because of the infinitude of reality. The infinitude of reality is what causes the matter's existence. The infinitism theory calls it universal sameness. In all these cases, infinity, existence, reality, matter, universe, cosmos, world, and so on, we are talking about the same thing. The only distinction could be in a hierarchy of categorical concepts. Matter is the manifestation of reality. Reality is the manifestation of existence. Existence is the manifestation of infinity. Therefore, the concept that causes existence is infinity. Then existence brings about reality and reality gives birth to matter, the rest is just different manifestations of the latter. As we can see, infinity is at the top of this categorical pyramid, then existence, then reality, and then matter. But let's not forget that they are all the same. The only restriction in this pyramid is that while we can change the different layers of this pyramid as we want, we should stand by the top of the pyramid to infinity, since it is causing whatever else we can see, observe, understand, and, in a word, everything that exists. That's why the infinitism theory formulates its final assertion as, everything exists because of its infinitude. The infinite is the reason for everything's existence. Its infiniteness is the reason everything exists. Everything is a result of its infiniteness. Everything's existence is a result of its infiniteness. Its infiniteness is the reason for everything's existence. Through all these more or less similar assertions, we assert that the ultimate concept from which all others emanate is infinity.
Please know that all the topics of this video had been treated and explained in detail in many books, papers, and videos that you can find on our website, www.thecrd.com. On this website, you can find the presentation of the infinitism theory, the suggestion of a new discipline called Infinitylogy, and also, the introduction of our research center called the Center for Research and Development of Infinitylogy, CRDI. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and be in touch with us for any question, collaboration, or contribution. Our email address is contact@thecrd.com. Thanks for watching this video.